550. It has suddenly got cold, hasn't it? Yes, but it was unusually warm until yesterday. The rest of the winter is expected to be as cold as it is now. 551. This car is not as expensive as mine. 552. This one is prettier, but it costs twice as much as that one. 553. The population of Italy is about half as large as that of Japan. 554. The distance from the Earth to the Moon is about equivalent to 20 times the Earth's diameter. 555. She has made up her mind to read as many books as possible this summer vacation. 556. Jeff and Jenny saved as much money as they could to visit their uncle in Hawaii. 557. This pen is as good as any I've ever used. 558. He was as brave a soldier as ever shouldered a gun. 559. It is not so much what a man wears as the way he wears it that marks the gentleman. 560. The 10-year-old boy cannot so much as write his own name. 561. He departed without so much as saying goodbye. 562. The man who stops learning is as good as dead. 563. He said he would lend me the money if I needed it, and he was as good as his word. 564. As many as 1,100 people live on each square mile of land in that country. 565. Some new bicycles cost as much as 50,000 yen. 566. He found 5 mistakes in his many lines. 567. Like so many stars among the leaves and branches, the street lamps shed their light. 568. She went so far as to say that he was a swindler. 569. Do you know that Japan once produced more silk than any other country? 570. Nothing is more pleasant than traveling. 571. At no time in my life have I been busier than I am today. 572. Churchill was a more successful statesman than anyone I ever knew. 573. In those days artists wanted, more than anything else, to express their own emotions. 574. The next train will be less crowded than this one. 575. You are less likely to gain weight in summer than in winter because you tend to lose your appetite when it is hot. 576. She is more shy than unsociable. 577. Science is far more than a collection of facts and methods. 578. The population of San Francisco is less than 1/10 that of Tokyo. 579. My camera is much better than yours. 580. The female lion, contrary to popular belief, is a far better stalker and hunter than the male lion. 581. It was always difficult to enter university, but it is harder than ever now. 582. This wine is inferior to that in flavor. 583. His paper is superior to mine. 584. He is 10 years senior to you. 585. For a growing child, a small town seems preferable to a large city. 586. Which is the more expensive of the two? 587. The harder Bob rowed the boat, the farther away he got. 588. I like the boy all the better for his naughtiness. 589. We had been complaining to the director, and one of my colleagues said, "Don't talk back to him. That'll make it all the worse." 590. Although intonation is seldom taught in language courses, it is nonetheless important for communicating accurately. 591. He knows little of mathematics, still less of chemistry. 592. It was about a mile to the base of the hill, and from the bottom it looked impossible to walk up, much less run. 593. You are no better at remembering things than I am. 594. I am no more able to operate this machine than he is. 595. No one can tell another person in any definite way how he should spend his free time, any more than how he ought to breathe. 596. Sunlight is no less necessary to good health than fresh air. 597. My students were few in number, no more than 4 or 5 altogether. 598. There was an audience of no less than 4,000 at the concert yesterday. 599. Determining the sex of an unborn baby used to be impossible, but not anymore. 600. My brother has many more good books than I have. 601. She knew better than to ask such a stupid question. 602. She was by far the best singer in the class. 603. Sapporo is the 5th largest city in Japan. 604. I don't have the faintest idea of the result. 605. I have just finished reading this book. It is really one of the best books I have ever. 606. Read. 607. There are 3 soccer teams in this town, of which ours is the best. 608. The place is at its best in spring. E108. Lost things have a way of appearing when least expected. E109. Your wife doesn't like it any more than you do when your neighbor tells you yours is a wonderful family, even while he is saying mean things about you behind your back. E110. Advertising targets children as never before. These days $3 billion is spent annually on advertising that is directed at kids, more than 20 times the amount a decade ago. E111. Samuel Johnson dominated the literary scene, not so much for what he wrote as for the manner of man he was. E112. Charles Dickens was one of the most productive as well as one of the greatest novelists in English literature. E113. Most people agree that talking is preferable to fighting. E114. Why is this bag much more expensive than that one? E115. There is nothing more interesting than the internet. E116. Her anxiety was all the more pitiful to see because she took such pains to hide it. E117. I am none the better for taking this medicine. E118. It took no more than a week for him to complete his essay. E119. In the 21st century, we can expect scientific advances to give more people than ever the means of leading a comfortable and easy life.